everybody. Welcome to Fly Together, brought to you by Most 529, Missouri's education savings plan that you can learn all about right now at MissouriMost.org. I'm Andrew Buchbinder. We're up here in the Redbird Roost this week, and we appreciate you joining us here for the brand new episode. We've got a great show lined up. We are catching up with Evan Mendoza, Cardinals infielder from 2018 and a little bit in 2019 before he went up to Memphis. He'll join us for Bird Bites, brought to you by American National. We've also got a brand new edition of Ryan Lawn and Tree Grounds Crew Yard Tips. Derek Edwards has the tips this week for us. And you know we're going to be giving away more of Dan Reiter's stuff and stuff under Dan's desk. Speaking of which, congratulations to our winner last week, Derringer Green, on winning some of Dan's stuff. Derringer, we're going to send you a note here on Facebook in just a moment to coordinate picking up your items. So to kick everything off, we're going to welcome in a good friend of ours, a longtime partner of the Springfield Cardinals, Dr. Steve Rice from Vision Clinic. Well, joining us here on Fly Together, brought to you by Most 529, a very good friend of ours who we typically, about this time of year, we typically welcome up to the radio booth for an on-air interview. Dr. Steve Rice from Vision Clinic. Dr. Rice, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you finding a couple minutes. I know it's a crazy time for everybody right now, but it's great to see you. How have you been? It's quite literally a family business at Vision Clinic. Your son, your daughter-in-law, all doctors with you. Is everybody doing okay right now?
Everybody's well. First, thanks for the opportunity. I appreciate it. And like you, I wish this was as we were watching a ball game on our bobblehead day doing this, but you know, you do what you can. So do appreciate the opportunity. You know, everybody's doing well. We've kind of sort of weathered the biggest storm. COVID has caused lots of chaos in everyone's world and our world as well. Even though we were considered, you know, essential, we were kind of sort of shut down because our hands were tied by the CDC. So we were available for eye emergencies and major vision issues or infections, that kind of thing. But we ended up having to furlough 79 of my 85 employees for a while. Never in a million years thought we'd have to do that. But thankfully, everybody came back, and you know, it's a little bit of a new normal. Everybody's masked up, and you know, patients have been phenomenal. My staff has been amazing because it's not a lot of fun to wear a mask all day, and but we've done the things that we know that we need to do to keep everyone safe and healthy. So everybody's doing well. Thanks for asking.
That's great, and you guys have such a good team too. I always, whenever we chat, when it's your bobblehead night and you come up to the booth, I mean, I think I'd spend the majority of our interview each year raving about the experience. I'm a patient of yours, of course, and my wife is too, and it's just as easy and convenient and quick and efficient of a process. You guys get folks through, but do so in a way where you really feel valued and you know that the attention's still being paid, and you guys just take care of your people so well. So I'm glad that everybody is back on staff. Now, are you guys back doing normal checkups in addition to emergency visits as well?
Yeah, we're pretty much back to kind of doing business as usual. So we've been very busy. We've been actually kind of surprised. Part of it, we're trying to catch up. I mean, we had about 6 weeks there. You know, we have a full schedule anyway, and so a little bit of a pent-up demand. We've been seeing a lot of kind of interesting, been seeing a lot of things that really I think are related to just the stress, everybody being home, and we're seeing some things that we don't always kind of sort of seeing more of it that are stress-related, and you know, people are on their computer a lot more, and you know, we're talking a lot about that and blue light protection and giving your eyes a break, and But anyway, yeah, we're kind of sort of back to doing business as normal, except for the new normal being mask related and lots of pure and clean hypochlorous acid and making sure everybody's, you know, safe.
Now, you guys always have new things going on, and you know, we always talk this time of year about summer sun protection with your eyes, and you know, that's always, I know, a priority. But what new things on tap at Vision Clinic do you have for us?
Well, gosh, you know, that's kind of our MO. That's one of our things. You know, we love embracing new technology, being out on the leading edge, and so there's always, you know, you've got your core things that you got to do, right? In the summer, you need to be protecting yourself from the ultraviolet light. Most people don't realize there's a huge difference in sunglasses and the protection that you get from those sunglasses. Polarized sunglasses are your best in the sun, especially if you're on the water or out on the road, because it gets rid of glare. There's a sunglass that we're very excited about called Vicious Vision. The optics, there isn't anything any better. The UV protection, you can kind of sort of think of suntan lotion and the SPF, sun protection factor. Most sunglasses give you about a 10 or a 15 SPF, and these give you a 50 plus. So we're huge fans of that. And then safety protection when you're outside, especially kids in sports, we sometimes forget about, lots of things get in the eye and injuries. And so polycarbonate lenses are very important. We talk about that a lot for our athletes. So new things, we've got some new things going on. Sports vision is becoming a much bigger deal for us. My Ozark office, Dr. Katie Galbraith, is a specialist in what we call vision therapy. And for folks that can see 20/20 but have difficulty doing their work up close and comprehending and tracking. And then for the athletes, we could talk for hours on that, but we brought some new technology into the office that many of your fans, your baseball players, kids, high school, college, it doesn't matter, professional, all of them can probably be a little bit better in this new technology on some of the tracking and your eyes teaming together and things. So we've got some really cool new stuff going on there in our Ozark office. For kids, mainly kids, but anybody, myopia, as you well know, is a thing called nearsightedness. It's when people have difficulty out there at distance. And it is, believe it or not, it's becoming a worldwide endemic. And it's not just the nearsightedness or the myopia, but it is the myopia progression. And we're starting to see progression of myopia in younger kids. We think it's because everybody's on their computer screens and on their video games and that kind of thing, but it's happening worldwide. And we don't want that. In the past, we really didn't have a lot to kind of be able to slow that down, but we now do. We have a lot of new things that are going on in the myopia management world. And so we have kind of sort of first to market in a brand new contact lens for kids. It's FDA approved for 8 to 12-year-olds. Those kids that are getting more nearsighted have a family history, mom or dad are nearsighted. And there's some things that we can do to slow that down. So we're super excited about that, brand spanking new. So that's something that we'll be focused on going forward here.
That's so interesting. I know I started to, it was in the classroom actually, where I started to have to squint, to see the blackboard. That was back when we had blackboards. And so it is interesting that that's happening younger and younger. I think I was in high school when it started to kind of kick in for me. But and that probably ties into, one of the things that I love that's on your guys' website, myvisionclinic.com, is a link that correlates physical activity to vision health as well. And I wonder if you could just kind of talk about that link and does that tie in at all to, myopia and sort of the prevalence of it?
100%. And that's a great thing to talk about. So in all the research, because it's become such a big deal, and even in developing countries, I've done, I think, 10 different trips to third world countries, underdeveloped and developing countries to provide eye care. And we could go for days. I would see 100 patients in a day, and we'd never see anyone that was nearsighted. And then all of a sudden you'd get into a pocket and kids would come in and they'd be nearsighted. And we're like, what the heck is going on? And you'd find out someone from the outside had come in and brought in computers and books, and they're doing a lot more near work. And so that was something that I realized a long time ago. But so the research has shown us a number of things. And one of them is there is a direct correlation between lack of being outside and more nearsightedness. And they're not 100% sure on exactly what the connection is, but if you're not outside when you're developing, then you're much more likely to become nearsighted. So parents, great reason to tell your kids, hey, if you don't want to have to, wear glasses all the time, get outside and do some playing. We think it has to do a lot with peripheral awareness. When you're just kind of locked into, say, your room, your bedroom or whatever, and you're doing games and just computer or on your phone, you're kind of sort of focused in on that spot. When you're outside, yes, you're focused on what you're doing, but there's a lot more stuff going on and you're really aware of that. And that makes a big difference. So So yeah, we encourage kids to be sure they get outside. Parents get them outside, and that makes a big difference on potentially making nearsightedness worse.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And of course, to kind of tie it all back in together, if you're going outside, wear some sunglasses too. And those vicious vision sunglasses, I remember, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, you brought up a pair, and Nate and I tried it on during the game. And we were looking out of the window, and it was early on in the evening, so the sun was still, out, and it was still bright. And we put those sunglasses on, and you could see perfect detail across the ballpark. It was just kind of incredible how much they help clear things up. Even if I was holding them in front of my glasses, so I had a prayer of being able to see anything. But it's still, even without that prescription, it was kind of incredible how high quality those are and how much they help just kind of cut some of the glare.
That's one of the things that's changed through the years. Back in the day, not that darn long ago, we couldn't get really good quality polarized sunglasses that have a little bit of wrap on them, which is nice when you're outside. We couldn't get them in prescription, but now we can. So these you can get, just single vision lenses for distance, or you can get progressive lenses, for folks that have more birthday parties to do their up close things with those, you can do that in them and read outside, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's one of the new technology things, keeps getting better, kind of cool.
Yeah, very cool. Well, Dr. Rice, I could keep you all day because I love talking with you and I love talking about this stuff. And it's just so important, too, to take care of your eyes. So we appreciate you joining us, though. I know you've got a full schedule, so we'll let you run. But thank you so much for your time. Thank you to your whole staff is incredible. We appreciate all the work that everybody does and the terrific partnership that we've had with Vision Clinic through the years. All those cool bobbleheads with the sunglasses on, and we just can't wait to get you guys back at the ballpark and continue that bobblehead series soon.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to it for sure, and I want to brag on the Springfield Cardinals and you and your team, and Dan and the group has done just a phenomenal job, and I can't tell you how impressed I am with just the positive, upbeat attitude that y'all have had. And it's a difficult time. There's no question about that. And it's disappointing. It's exciting about the taxi squad. What that looks like exactly, we don't know. But, I do, as a fan and as a partner, do appreciate what you guys have done. So keep up the good work. Hang in there. Thanks for the opportunity. And enjoy the rest of the summer.
That sounds great. Thanks so much, Dr. Rice. We'll talk to you soon.
You bet. Take care.
Kids' sports require a lot of stuff. For example, if your child plays baseball or softball, they'll need a glove, a bat, batting gloves, cleats, a uniform, etc., etc. In the next season, they've grown, so you need more stuff. While we can't help with those costs, we can help you pay for their education. A Missouri Most 529 education plan is a tax-deferred investment account that you can apply to tuition and college expenses. Stuff like books, supplies, computers, software, and internet costs, plus other qualified fees and items your student uses while they're at any eligible post-secondary school. For more information about a Most 529, visit MissouriMost.com/529facts.
2020. It's a year we'll remember for the rest of our lives. So many things have changed so quickly. And for many of us, we're still trying to find our way through all of this. So many firsts. So many things that have been lost. But it's against that backdrop where we find an encouraging truth. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. When we finally come back to the ballpark, it'll be better than ever. The sights and sounds will be more inviting, the energy more exhilarating, the hot dogs even better. And the game will inspire us like never before. We'll all get there eventually, and we'll get there together.
In the past few months, we wanted to find a way to lift your spirits up during these difficult times. This is how the Fly Together campaign came to life, and even though there is no baseball, we wanted to remind the community that we are still here for you. We teamed up with the Community Blood Center of the Ozarks and had the Step Up to the Plate blood drive presented by Great Southern Bank. More than 20 of our community partners were involved, and thanks to all of your donations, 1,086 lives were saved. With the help from Louie, our locally owned restaurant partners, and especially all of you, our Fly Together t-shirt fundraiser led us to feeding over 1,000 essential employees and frontline workers. During this time, we also launched a free kids club, and so far, we have more than 1,600 kids signed up. It's never too late to sign up, and you can find all the details at springfieldcardinals.com. On June 11th, the Springfield Cardinals front office joined in the United Way's Day of Caring. After working from home and being apart for several months, we were able to come back together and help at the least of these food pantry. And just a few weeks ago, on June 28th, we held the Peanuts at the Park event presented by Highlandary. Members and community partners were welcomed back to the ballpark, where they were able to drive around the warning track, get some free peanuts and chips, and have their photo taken on our award-winning field with Louie. With the news of our 2020 season being canceled, our sales team has been back in the office, reaching out to members and community partners and making sure that you are all taken care of. To the rest of our amazing fans, we miss you, we can't wait to see you again, and we hope you continue to stay safe. As we anxiously wait for the return of baseball, we will continue to fly with you, and we appreciate you flying with us. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Regina Norris, and we love our fans. See you next time.
Time now for a brand new edition of Bird Bites, brought to you by American National, where we catch up with Evan Mendoza, who provided tons of highlights playing third base for the Cardinals here in 2018 and 19. And Evan joins us right now from his home in Florida. Well, we've got a brand new edition of Bird Bites presented by American National, and our good friend, Evan Mendoza, Cardinals infielder, joining us from Florida. And Evan, before we start firing some hard-hitting journalistic questions at you here in a sec, how are you doing? Is everything going well down there?
Yeah, everything's doing really well. It's pretty hot here in Florida. The summer heat of Florida reminds me of the Florida State League, but overall doing really well, staying on top of my baseball abilities and skills, so couldn't be happier.
That has been one of the things that it's been interesting. Obviously, we all wish we could be at ballparks and, living life normally right now, but that we've been talking to guys about, because it's been so long since any of you have been at home, come July. But I forgot Florida State League, that's been years for you. You've been out of the Florida State League for a while, but I'm sure it brings back some tough memories of that midsummer humidity down there.
It is hot. I mean, I grew up in Florida, so I'm used to the heat, but still it kind of shocks me every single time I walk out and you start sweating.
Yeah, and don't stop, right? I mean, Matt, you lived in Florida too. I haven't really been down there in the summer too much, but it's got an incredible ability. It's a little like Texas, some parts of Texas though. Like, you go out, you sweat, you go inside, you have air conditioning, and somehow you're still sweating. Well, we've got some fun questions for you, so we'll jump right in here. First off, aside from Busch Stadium, of course, what is a big league ballpark that you've always dreamed of playing in?
I actually always dreamed of playing in the old Rangers ballpark in Arlington. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, but that was one of the stadiums I really wanted to play in because I really like the movie The Rookie, and that's where he made his major league debut. Jim Morris. So that's a ballpark that I always wanted to make my either debut or just play in. I think that'd be a really cool story to watch that movie, which inspires me to chase my dreams and get to the big leagues and all that, shoot for the stars, all the quotes you can make about just trying your hardest and achieving what you can. So I thought that would be pretty cool, but fortunately that probably won't happen unless maybe they do like a retro game or something like that. I don't think that – did they destroy that ballpark? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Matt, do you know?
Yeah, they probably will.
Well, I mean, you talk about humidity. That's like the king central of hottest ballparks to play in without a roof. So you'd be well conditioned for it.
Yeah. That was probably one of the ballparks that I always wanted to play in. I grew up an Orioles fan, so Camden Yards is another one. But I think the story with the rookie in that movie would be pretty cool.
All right, so everyone's aware of the Florida man stories. Have you ever encountered like a Florida man situation in all your years down there?
Not like one individual. It comes down to just our family has a joke, the Florida drivers. They're not great. A lot of them are retirees who are going well below the speed limit, and then you have the younger 20-year-olds going 120 on the highway. So it's kind of hectic out there. Everyone's just, you have to be on edge in the road. So I think that describes Florida in itself, the driving.
It's true. You can almost argue that, like, while Florida driving is crazy, that Florida makes you, like, when you're young, a better driver.
Oh yeah,
I feel like you're driving on the highway, everything's coming at you.
Yeah. You have to be ready for it all. Yeah.
Hey, Matt, you've got, what did you say, an alligator crossed the road or something, and you
I wasn't driving, but I remember like taking a family trip. So I grew up in Clearwater, Tampa, over to Miami, and we're driving down. It's called Alligator Alley down there, and it's like 8-foot gators like just strolling across the highway. You have to stop and wait for them.
Yeah, no, good luck with that. I'll stay in Missouri. Thank you. But okay, what is your number one non-baseball skill or talent?
I don't really know. I feel like I'm a very like athletic person that likes to try a lot of things out. I guess maybe like playing racquetball or tennis. I think those are my like two favorite kind of like hidden talents. My brother and I used to warm up with like a best of 7 series of racquetball at LA Fitness when I grew up, when I was like 13. So we played racquetball literally nonstop every single day as a warm up for like 2 hours. And it's definitely a great workout, but I developed, I guess, good racquetball skills and awareness. And it actually translates to the baseball field, having first step quickness and just anticipation on where the ball is going to go. I think it's helped me out a good amount.
Well, can we add painting to that list? I mean, that thing on the wall behind you did that, right?
Yeah, I've been painting this quarantine with the help of seeing cool stuff on TikTok. Paintings like this one right here. It's like pendulum painting, but I've been trying other fun trends, I guess you can say, on TikTok, just as a fun little hobby with my host brothers that I'm living with, and trying to sell some of the artwork, and as just a fun little hobby to occupy my time.
Here, before we go to the next one, can you move your head like 8 inches to the left or right so we can see it? Oh, nice. That's cool, man. That's very cool.
The time-consuming ones, we probably did a good 12 different throws on that canvas, and used a bunch of different colors. So if you look deep into it, you can kind of see all the different colors and stuff like that.
Awesome. So in the shameless plug department, since you're joining us and taking time out of your day, if anybody out there watching wants a piece of Evan Mendoza original art, how can they get in touch with you?
So I actually created a Shopify store, and I think the easiest way to access that is through the link in my Instagram bio. You'll click that link, and then on one of those links, it'll say artwork for sale, and then it'll direct you to my artwork store. And I have a bunch of other things on there. Some of them are prints, so it's not the original copy of my canvas, but it's a lot discounted rate. That way it can be available for a lot of people.
Very cool.
Awesome. All right, so what's something that you've always wanted to do that you haven't gotten to do yet?
Probably go skydiving. I feel like that's something that would be a lot of fun. It's definitely pretty thrilling and a little scary, but I think that would be like riding a roller coaster. After you do it, it's a lot of fun and gives you that kind of energetic burst in your day and maybe your year or maybe the decade, just to tell yourself that you do something that's really kind of scary.
It's been a popular answer to that question.
It has been.
Yeah, I've definitely always wanted to. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Good luck if you ever do. As we told, I think it was Ronnie last week. I think he answered the same. Matt and I will be waiting for you on the ground. We'll have a cold drink for you. But what's your best memory from Little League baseball?
Little League was probably my first game ever. I don't remember it totally, but my parents, the story goes that I was the pitcher in T-ball, and it was my first ever game, and I kind of just stuck my glove up after the kid hit it off the tee. Had no idea where the ball was going. I think I closed my eyes, and supposedly the story goes I caught that ball, and just had no really awareness of what I was doing. But that's probably my favorite story because it felt like ever since that day I've just been in love with the game, and I've been working hard to kind of get where I'm at.
Normally, when a ball was hit at me and I closed my eyes, it didn't go that well.
Yeah.
So that's why you're where you are and I'm where I am.
All right, if you had to be quarantined with a teammate, who would you choose?
Probably Anthony Hsu, because he just kind of minds his own business. He's not a super outgoing guy where he's going to be wanting to do this or doing that all the time. I don't know. He just seems like it would be a cool kind of roommate to be around and just quarantined with.
So what is PG? What is the best prank that you've played on somebody?
That I've played on someone?
Or that somebody played on you?
Well, I thought it was actually kind of fun this spring training and big league camp. Throughout the off season, I usually love to listen to Hispanic music and just learn the lyrics and translate it because I don't really speak fluent Spanish. So a lot of the Hispanic guys know that. And since I've been practicing a lot, there was just a couple of days where I built up the confidence to try my best to speak Spanish. And I think I kind of surprised a lot of the Hispanic guys with my accent and didn't completely sound like a white American guy. So they kind of got a little scared that I could hear everything, and I was kind of joking around with them saying, like, I understand it all. Like, I know what you guys are saying. Even though not completely all of it, I knew what they were saying. But that was a fun little prank that I did this past spring.
All right, who was your favorite athlete growing up?
Athlete? Probably Cal Ripken. To see what he did and play in as many games as he did, and not really complain or do anything like that. Like, he just went to work every single day. I think that was pretty cool that he was able to achieve that feat of basically 20 years in a row without missing a game. I think that's just mind blowing. So he's definitely a guy that I looked up to with his work ethic and consistency.
Is he why you were an Orioles fan?
No, so I was actually born in Baltimore. So my family were all Oriole and Ravens fans, and that was just my team. That was the first ballpark I went to, was Camden Yards, as like a 4-year-old. So I've always been an Orioles fan, really.
Well, if you could pick only one, would you rather be a Hall of Famer or a World Series champion?
I think a Hall of Famer, because I think that truly leaves your mark on history. Being a World Series champ is obviously really cool because it's the team aspect of everything. But the reason why a lot of guys play the game is to leave their mark. And I think to be a Hall of Famer is an exclusive group of individuals. There's not a ton of players in the Hall. So to be in the Hall of Fame, I think, is exactly what I want to do in the game, is to leave my mark.
Is there like a number of World Series that could change that? Like, if you got to like 4 World Series,
I feel like
a Hall of Famer.
I feel like maybe like 4 or 5. I feel like that's a fair number, because that's when you start thinking about, like, what if you're a Hall of Famer with 0 rings, or you're not a Hall of Famer with 5. I think, I don't know, having a ring would be pretty special. But being in the Hall is also really, really special. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
You know, and I feel like it's one of the I think kind of unique things about baseball. Not to say that, people obviously have favorite football players and basketball players, but baseball seems to have that like generational impact. You growing up watching Cal Ripken and having him impact you. I know, Matt and I are both from the Northeast originally, and Derek Jeter was like the guy that we grew up idolizing. And I think everybody has that one, or maybe it's a couple players, but that just really impacted their love of this game, across generations. So yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up with what's the favorite moment of your professional career so far?
Besides getting drafted, which was a completely special day, is probably right after I got drafted when I was with State College. I was on a tear for 2 weeks straight where I won Player of the Week two weeks in a row. And I was hitting like 500 throughout those 2 weeks. Like, it just felt like everything was clicking. I was having the time of my life. I just turned 21 with my new teammates. I was just having a great time. I loved my host family. I felt very professional being a part of a great organization like the Cardinals. So that was probably my favorite time, because I felt like a kid just playing a game. I didn't feel like I was thinking about any of the extra stuff that comes along with playing baseball. It was just going out there and having fun.
Do you have a draft story where you're with your family when you found out?
Yeah. I was in Sarasota with my family, and basically I was on the phone all morning right before day 3 started, and I had probably like a good 10 different teams contact me. So I felt pretty certain that I was going to get selected pretty early in that day 3, and I was definitely happy that the Cardinals were the team that selected me.
Yeah, we are too.
Yeah.
Well, Evan, thanks so much, man. We appreciate it. You survived bird bites, so congratulations. But thanks for sharing everything with us. Thanks for sharing your art too. Very cool. Yeah, it's awesome to see what you've been up to these past couple months. So we appreciate it. Hopefully we can get you back on a baseball field somewhere soon.
I know, me too. I'm excited for it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Evan.
Thanks, man.
Welcome back to another week of Grounds Crew Yard Tips presented by Ryan Lawn and Tree. I'm Matt Turer, the Cardinal social media guy. Today we're going to go over some basic mower maintenance.
Before we hop on the mowers to take off to trim the grass around Hammond's Field, we have some seasonal checklist things that we do with the mower to make sure it's operating correctly and that we'll have a smooth, nice, freshly cut lawn here at the ballpark. Some seasonal maintenance tips you need to do to your mower to keep it running long term and also to allow your yard to have a nice fresh look is, one, make sure you're sharpening your blades and keeping those sharp. If the blades are dull, as we talked about before in other segments, it can cause the grass tips to have some damage. Other things you need to do is check your oil, make sure you've got enough oil in the mower. Another thing is check the air filter, make sure it's not clogged, and if it needs to be cleaned, clean it or change it depending on your model unit. And lastly, make sure the spark plug is in good working order on your mower as well. Some annual maintenance tips when you're getting ready to put your mower away for the winter time is, one, if you're going to make sure to drain the fuel out, and if you're not going to drain the fuel out, make sure you add a fuel stabilizer if your mower is going to sit more than 15 to 30 days. Another tip for what we use around here for our mowers is make sure to use premium gasoline. It helps the engines run better. Also in the winter, again, sharpen your blades before putting it away, change the oil, as well as change the spark plug. Also, the air filter could use a good changing each season as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
One of my favorite moments each week, we get to give away Dan Reiter's stuff. Our Vice President and General Manager, Dan Reiter, we're doing stuff under his desk. Who knows what he's got for us this week, but we're about to find out right here on Fly Together. Well, it's time for Stuff Under Dan's Desk. We are, of course, joined by GM and VP of the Springfield Cardinals, Dan Reiter. Dan, before we find out what you got going on under your desk and what you have to give us away, how's it going?
Great. It's there's some enthusiasm around the ballpark. Obviously, we all would rather be playing games. We all would be rather talking different, but it's been really fun. We've been reaching out to the different partners and reaching out to our fans and getting ready for the taxi squad, be an alternate site. And so I think all of that's kind of got everyone some renewed energy. Seeing each other around the office is great, in masks, of course, just to make sure that we're all being safe. But overall, I think there's some new energy back in this building, and it feels good. It feels really good.
Well, with so much going on, we'll dive right in to the topic on everybody's mind of what is Dan going to give away this week. And a quick reminder before we unveil it, if you're out there and watching and want Dan's stuff, all you have to do is comment on this video or like this video. We'll pick a winner and announce the winner in next week's episode. So, Dan, what do you have for us?
Well, I think we'll call this the Beverage Lovers Package. So for anyone who needs to help out around their house, first of all, I have got 2 awesome pint glasses that got our Sluggerbird logo on them. By the way, this is the first time I'm using a camera for this as opposed to my cell phone, so I'm just picture quality. So I've got 2. I can confirm that one of them has not been drank out of. The other one, I don't believe has been drinking out of, but I would still recommend washing it first. So
yeah,
got 2 pint glasses, and then
that just kind of makes it like game used.
Recommend washing it though. I'm still gonna go with that. I know you would. You're a germaphobe, so I know for.
I'd probably wash it twice.
Okay. And then the other one, this is actually just again the same Sluggerbird logo. This was a giveaway from Coca-Cola years ago. And it's just one that I always thought was a very classy looking, simple hat. Me, I sweat too much and like to do too much outside where white hats and me aren't very good friends. But if I know I'm going to be not getting dirty, I think this is just a great cap. So this is the Beverage Lovers Sluggerbird package, the 2 pint glasses, the Coca-Cola hat. And again, what Coca-Cola product would you use in these glasses?
I'm a traditionalist. I'd probably just go classic. I think I would just go Coca-Cola. If I weren't going water with a Dasani,
I do crush a lot of Dasani bottles.
I do. I drink a lot of Dasani water, as anybody looking at my trash can can attest to. But I think I would just go a classic Coca-Cola. I think there's nothing better than an ice cold Coke, especially if you can find one of the ones that are in the glass bottle. You get the nostalgia going of when you were a kid in summertime and hanging out on the porch, drinking an ice cold Coke out of a glass bottle. So I think that's what I would shoot for, but really a Coke out of a can or a plastic bottle works too.
Okay, you're wrong. You? The correct answer was either Coke Zero or Diet Dr. Pepper. So that's the correct answer. But I do applaud your effort, and especially the shout out to the classic Coke bottles.
Yeah, well, I like the calories too.
Unfortunately, I don't have any of that underneath my desk. It would have been in my refrigerator, and I probably would have drank it as opposed to give it out. But again, for anyone who does want the Beverage Lovers package of the 2 pint glasses and the Coca-Cola hat, remember, all you have to do is comment or like it.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan.
All right, good to see you, Andrew.
You too. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everyone.
Another great episode in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining us on Fly Together, brought to you by Most 529. Of course, a big thank you to all of our guests this week. Dr. Steve Rice from Vision Clinic, Evan Mendoza joined us for Bird Bites. Derek Edwards doing a great job with the yard tips as always. And of course, Dan Reiter for giving away more of his stuff. Our production team is Kent Shelton, TJ Patton, Regina Norris, and Matt Turr. I'm Andrew Buchbinder. Thanks again for tuning in and joining us, and enjoy this ballpark moment on the way out.
And the 0-2. Swing and a miss by possession. Junior Fernandez slams the door with a strikeout. And the Cardinals take the opener from the Drillers 7-4 at Hammonds Field.